At the top tonight, a closer look at the joint effort between Nueces County officials and Corpus Christi officials to battle COVID-19. Now, lately, some have wondered if the two entities have not been seeing eye to eye.
Yeah, some point to this past weekend when the county issued a mask mandate for area schools, if for just a moment.
We have authority, we have a crisis, we have a need. And aren't you glad that you live in a community where your local health authority wants to protect your children?
But right after that mandate was signed, the Texas Supreme Court issued a ruling keeping Governor Greg Abbott's executive order in place, which bans mask mandates in schools. Because of that ruling, Nueces County voided their mask mandate. And then this Monday, Corpus Christi City Council holding a special meeting on the mandate itself. There, the city attorney saying the city did not have any input on it.
But the county says that's just not the case. Tonight, our Seth Kovar hashes out this situation to get to the bottom of it.
We, on Friday, began the dialogue, with city leadership.
We were not given the opportunity to give input to any particular order.
The county says they held talks with the city, but the city says those chats didn't amount to real input from them. In fact, on Monday, the city council held an emergency meeting that ended with this statement from the city attorney.
The city was not a signatory to this order. The city council and city manager did not receive and were not given an opportunity to give input into this order prior to its issuance.
When I asked County Judge Barbara Canales about that statement, she said this.
I think that is very misleading, and that's where I'll leave it.
Canales says the city was included in the process leading up to the mass order being signed.
And on Friday and on Saturday and Sunday, there were conversations absolutely between the leaderships of the city and the county.
There were conversations, but Mayor Paulette Guajardo says that Sunday talk ended without a decision on whether or not to move forward with the order.
We all knew a Supreme Court ruling was coming down, so everyone had agreed, let's just wait and see what happens with that. It could be a day, it could be 2, it could be 3.
The issue is whether mask mandates violate state law. The mayor thinks they do. The county judge thinks they didn't, at least before the Supreme Court ruling. Ultimately, the local health authority, part of the city-county health district, made the call and went ahead with that order.
The intention was for us to all be on the same page and to support the schools and, to be able to put out an order that was done correctly and fairly and legally.
The city and county have appeared to be on the same page for the entirety of the pandemic. But a mask mandate became a divisive issue. Whether it will further divide city-county cooperation isn't clear.
I don't think so. I think that it's all right to disagree. If they don't believe in the mask mandate, they have that opinion.
But in the end, I think it's up to each entity to decide, what should the school districts do? What should each different entity do for their organization?
Seth Kovar, Chris 6 News.
As for the Texas Supreme Court ruling, it's what's known as a stay. That's essentially putting a pause on any school district from attempting to enforce a mask mandate until this issue can be sorted out in the courts. But as many of you know, many school districts in the state, including Dallas, San Antonio, and even the West Oso ISD, have continued to require masks in schools despite that court ruling.